Can you gain muscle without eating a lot of food? A lot of people out there want to gain muscle, but don't want to eat a lot of food. But how much is a lot of food in the first place? And is it actually possible to gain muscle without eating all day like it's your job? Let's find out. I've talked to many younger athletes interested in building muscle mass over the years. Almost all of them don't want to lose their precious abs just to build more muscle. Unfortunately for these kids, they don't listen when I share what they need to do to get stronger and pack on muscle in the gym. This begs the question, can you actually gain muscle without eating a lot of food? No, you can't. You need to eat more calories than you're burning off every day to build muscle mass. You need to gain weight, that is all. If you aren't gaining any weight, you're not eating enough to build muscle. The biggest problem is everyone wants to lose weight, but nobody wants to gain weight. The type of weight you're trying to gain, lean muscle tissue, is much harder to build than fat is to lose. So with that in mind, how much do we actually have to eat to build muscle? Is it a lot more than you think, like 10,000 calories, or is it more reasonable? The first thing we need to figure out is how many calories you need to consume to maintain your body weight. The easiest way to figure this out is to take your body weight and times it by 15. And this is gonna give you a basic ballpark number for what your maintenance calories probably are. So for a 200-pound man, timesing that by 15 is gonna be around 3,000 calories for maintenance. Now that we know what his maintenance calories are, we wanna add 5 to 10% on top of this. We'll assume he's pretty lean at 10% body fat, so we'll use a 10% increase to start out. If you have more body fat, I would recommend only increasing by 5% to start. So in the previous example, we're gonna do 3,000 calories times 10%, which is 3,300 calories. And now that we have the correct amount of calories to start with, we need to track our body weight over a 2-week period. If you're gaining weight too quickly, you can definitely assume you're gaining more body fat than necessary. The most important thing in this whole entire process is to not overeat and get fat. In general, gaining more than 0.5% of your body weight per week is too fast. For a 200-pound male, 1 pound per week is plenty to ensure we're building mostly muscle. If you're 100 pounds, it's gonna be half of that. Half a pound per week. Just like with losing body fat, we don't want to gain more than 10% of our body weight for the entirety of the muscle gain phase. This gives us a cap of 20 pounds of body weight to build muscle and prevent excessive fat gain. The other important thing to realize is that the leaner you are, the more weight you gain will be muscle mass. As you gain excess body fat, the more resistant your body will be to muscle growth. Not a great situation to be in. This is not the time to eat a ton of food without paying attention to your calories. You will get fat and wish you took your time with it. I've seen it too many times to be a coincidence. As with all things in life, slow and steady wins the race. The next thing we want to pay attention to is increasing our calorie intake to gain more muscle. Even though we started off in a calorie surplus, there will come a time when you stop gaining. When this happens, you need to increase your calories again to keep moving forward. As long as you do this slowly, you should be hitting PRs in the gym and gaining muscle. A simple 5 to 10% increase in calories will suffice for this. No need to overdo it. Keep track of your weight and train hard. A lot of people out there are definitely under the mindset that they only need to work out hard to gain muscle. Unfortunately, this is definitely not true whatsoever. Without a calorie surplus to give your body the proper nutrients, muscle growth cannot occur. The only time it can is if you're overweight and have a lot of adipose tissue to support muscle growth. For those struggling to build muscle, if you're training hard and not eating for growth, it's never going to happen. So many guys out there say they eat so much and they can't gain weight. Of course, so much isn't a quantifiable number and they aren't doing it consistently. So of course, they can't gain weight. If you aren't tracking your calories and body weight each week, all of the weight training in the world isn't going to build the muscle for you. It's just like building a house. It'll never be built unless you have the right building materials to get it done. You need to eat more to build muscle. That's all there is to it. On top of the proper calorie intake, there's a lot you can do to optimize your diet to build the most muscle possible. Here are a couple of guidelines to consider. First of all, protein. You want to have at least 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. When your calories and carb intake are higher, they're much more muscle sparing, which allows you to eat less protein. By eating less protein, you can consume more carbs and fats, which for some people is going to be a lot easier than consuming more protein. For our fat intake, we want to have at least 0.3 grams of fat per pound of body weight. To ensure proper hormone function, we don't want our fats to go lower than 30% of our total body weight. And then the remainder of your calories are going to go toward carbohydrate intake. Carbohydrates are so important for muscle gain and proper energy levels. The more you can eat, the better. It gives you a huge advantage over any other type of diet by far. Now that we have these guidelines out of the way, let's calculate the proper macros for a 200-pound male athlete. So starting out, we get 3,300 calories, 160 protein, 60 fat, and 530 carbohydrates. A lot of people find they can tolerate fats better than carbs. You can lower your carbs and increase your fats as you see fit. This is simply an example of the best possible macronutrients to build muscle mass. As you progress through the diet, you can keep protein and fats relatively the same and increase your carbs to continue pushing calories higher. As I mentioned before, some people claim they can't gain weight no matter what they eat. This is due to being inconsistent and not tracking their calorie intake and body weight. For those that are doing these things but have a hard time eating enough calories due to a fast metabolism, here's a couple of foods you can throw into your diet to make this a simple task. Peanut butter and honey sandwiches or jelly jelly, whatever you prefer, protein shakes and whole fat milk, Gatorade during your workouts, cereal post-workout, pancakes, dried fruit, fats and oils such as olive oil and avocado oil, any kind of nuts, almonds, cashews, peanuts, macadamia nuts, high-fat dairy products such as milk, yogurt, and cheeses, eggs, white rice, and ground beef, and even possibly junk food. As you can see, there are a ton of options to increase your calorie intake without getting super full. If you have trouble downing the calories needed to build muscle, try increasing the energy-dense foods you're consuming. And yes, as crazy as it sounds, some people need to eat junk food to gain weight and build muscle. As long as you're hitting your protein intake and getting all of your important micronutrients from fruits and vegetables, you can eat junkier foods to get your calorie intake up. Obviously, you won't be trying to eat in a calorie surplus forever, so the detriments to your health are nowhere near as bad as those that lead sedentary lives. Eat healthy foods the majority of the time, train hard, and if you need it, consume less healthy foods to get in the calories needed to build muscle. That is all. But as you can see, just working out more isn't going to improve your ability to gain muscle mass. The only way to gain muscle is to follow these 3 simple steps. Number 1, increase your calorie intake by 5 to 10% to gain weight. If you aren't gaining weight every week, increase by 5 to 10% and go from there. Number 2, get stronger in the 5 to 20 rep range through weight training. The stronger you get in those rep ranges, the more muscle you're gonna get. If you're going from a 50-pound bench press to a 100-pound bench press for a set of 10, you got stronger and you also built some muscle to get there. If you're only working with, singles, doubles, and triples like a powerlifter does, there isn't a lot of muscle gain needed to actually make that happen. It's more of a neurological thing. So getting stronger in that 5 to 20 rep range is gonna be best. And of course, number 3, which is always the most important no matter what your goal is, remain consistent. You can't do only one of these things and be successful. You have to eat more to grow, you have to train hard to give your body the correct signals for muscle growth, and you have to be consistent. If you eat more food all the time, you're going to get fat. If you only weight train without increasing calories, you're gonna remain the same or even lose some body weight. And with that, I'll leave you guys with a question. When was the last time you tried to gain muscle mass? What did you have to do to continue making progress? Let me know in the comments below. That's it for this one, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn how to improve your performance in the gym, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.